fell ponies are native to the north of England and are mostly found in Cumbria in the old counties of Cumberland and Westmoreland, where probably they have roamed since prehistoric times. Pony breeders had begun to record pedigrees in the second half of the 19th century. The Fell Pony Committee first described the breed in 1898 and became the Fell Pony Society in October 1922. Its aim was to foster and keep pure the old breed of pony which has roamed the northern fells for years, and to circulate knowledge and general information about the pony breed. The Society updated the breed description shortly after the Second World War, and the current description and the scale of points were added to the rules in 1966. This centenary video aims to help owners, breeders and judges to understand the pony that we have inherited and to safeguard its qualities for the next 100 years. The breed description includes a scale of points. 100 points are allocated for breed type, the general characteristics that distinguish a fell from other breeds of horses and ponies. The fell pony should be constitutionally as hard as iron and show good pony characteristics, with the unmistakable appearance of hardiness peculiar to mountain ponies, and at the same time have a lively and alert appearance and great bone. Living on the fell keeps the breed hardy. The high environment influences the genes inherited by later generations. The scientific study of this is called epigenetics. Fell ponies bred on lowland adapt to easier going. The third generation may lose fell type even though they inherit the same genetic material. We need our herds on hill land to go back to for type and hardiness.
First place went to Wellborough Judges. Second place went to Equestrian Scott Karen Flat.
In addition to the 100 points allocated for breed type, a further 100 points are awarded specifically for aspects of conformation, such as head and neck, shoulders, carcass, feet, legs and joints, height and colour, and action. We're going to look at these first, and after that going on to remark about type. We're going to take a closer look at some ponies with Fell Pony Judge and Vice Chairman of the Fell Pony Society, Paul Metcalf.
This is a 21-year-old brown mare. She looks in tremendous condition for her age. She's got a really nice front on it, good shoulder, nice and straight up front of there. Come round. If you could maybe fold this pony maybe just a little bit long in the back, but mares, it doesn't matter as much because most mares have foals and there's more foal room. Colts tend to be shorter coupled, a lot of shorter coupled. If we just turn it a little bit this way, that's good. She's got a nice chest up front of here and nice and wide in there, plenty of heart room. If you get plenty of heart room, that's where your stamina and that comes from. Nice long mane, plenty of hair.
Height and colour. Scale of points 5. Today, the breed standard height limit is 14 hands, 142.2 centimetres. The Fell Pony height limit has been variable over the years. In the first group of Fell Ponies registered as Fell Ponies between 1898 and 1905, all the stallions were 13.2, while the mares ranged from 12 hands to 14.1.5, but most around the 13.1 mark. In 1924, the Fell Pony Society set that mares were not to be bigger than 13.2, and later on the height limit for both mares and stallions was set at 14 hands and remains the same today. The rules allow for black, brown, bay and grey, solid colours only. Chestnut and broken coloured ponies were debarred in the 1940s, although on rare occasions a chestnut fell pony will be the result from two registered ponies. It is a throwback to genetics and their ancestry. In this case, the chestnut fell pony will be registered in section X of the stud book rather than the main section.
The mare at the front is a bay, the second one is a dark brown one with a little mealy nose, the third one's a dark brown one and the back one's a bay. Good hard colours is the dark brown ones.
Some of the fell pony men in the 1980s and 1990s preferred a dark brown pony, almost black with a tan muzzle, because, they said, it could not be beaten for hardiness. Them Brunans are bad to kill on fell.
Two dark brown ones there. The dark brown ones, they don't have the definition of where it changes colour, the brown runs into the body. And they've got light coloured mealy noses and a bit around the eyes, which makes them very attractive. These two bays are quite different. One's a darker colour than the other and one's got dapples and the other hasn't. The dapples is due to good condition. This will be probably quite a big age difference, I would think, between the two. But she's in really good condition, so they get dapples at this time of year. And that one's more self-coloured. Three different colours base here, and it's interesting that all three of them are related. We've got grandma, daughter and granddaughter.
There are many shades of black, and a rusty tinge in summer is not a weakness. Most black foals are usually born with a mousy grey colour, but as their foal coat begins to shed out, their black colour will show through.
This is an interesting lot. We're up on the fells. There's 11 mares here all together, all black, all different shades of black. They're all in terrifically good order. This mare here is quite interesting. She's got a ticking of grey all over it, but it's still, main body's black. Ticking, it's got little bits of grey hair all over it. And this one here has got a little bit of brown and some ticking in its flanks. So there's two there with ticking, but still black. This one's all black, just a little bit sun bleached on the top, but that's a good black. And this one here has got a little bit of brown on it, which probably bleached with the sun, but it's a nice black mare. Just going to talk a little bit about stars and white markings. This pony here has got a very, very small star, but they could have a star 4 or 5 times the size of that. As long as it doesn't come below the eye line, which is there, it's absolutely fine. And they can have a little snip on the nose. A lot of people wouldn't like one with a snip on the nose, but it is acceptable. If they have too much white and it comes below, it goes into section X.
The large star and long snip on this young colt would put this pony into section X. Ponies registered in section X may not be shown at Fell Pony Society, county and some other shows, but may participate in Fell Pony Society performance events, and there is no detriment to the pony's abilities for either work or pleasure. The walk should be smart and true.
The length of the stride is determined by the movement of the shoulder. We've got a mare here walking out. We're looking to see how it tracks up. Tracking up nicely, its back feet is going into where its front feet are leaving. A good walk starts at the top of the shoulder and moves down to the point at the front. It's got a good length of stride, an active round action as it's walking and bending its knees and bending its hocks, and it bends its knees very well. The foal has a good walk too. The foal has a really good walk. You see, I was always told if they've got a good long forearm, they have a good stride. What we're looking for is a good active walk, covering ground. We don't want little steps. That's got a good walk. This one here has got a good walk as well. That's got a good walk. It's reaching out. In movement, when they're walking, you want to be able to see all of the soles. We'll just talk about from the walk, from when we were down the field, and the chauffeur wants to be sloping like that, which allows the leg to move forward or back, and I'll try and show it. It bends at the knee and then comes forward, and you can see the shoulder moves and how flat it is across there. And then when it moves back, the shoulder comes back, which determines the length of the stride. We'll just move on from the other pony to this pony. From the shoulder point of view, this pony is maybe just slightly straighter in the shoulder than the other one, which allows for the horse's leg maybe not to move forward quite as far as the other one, or as far back.
There must be lift at the hock and knee and some spring at the pastern, so the pony can travel up and down hill and over rough ground easily. Movement in all paces must be straight. This is efficient and enables a pony to do well when living on the fell. If the feet swing out, it wastes energy. If the feet swing in, there's a risk of damaging the opposite leg. Here you can see a pony with a fault in its hind leg. The leg goes wide, probably a fault higher up the leg. The trot should be well balanced all round, with good knee and hock action, going well from the shoulder and flexing the hocks, not going too wide nor near behind. The trot should show great pace and endurance, bringing the legs well under the body when going.
Everything moves on it, back and front.
The pony must cover ground both at back and front. We want a strong hind leg stride under the body as well as some lift. It must go forward, not up and down like a sewing machine. Good movement means the hocks and knees move equally and there is some spring at the pastern. The pony can travel easily up and down hill and over rough ground, whether at liberty or working under a rider.
Well, it bends its hocks really well. You can see the difference in action, can't you? As we discussed in the in-hand ponies, tracking up, a riding pony has got to do exactly the same. Its hind feet should go exactly in where its front feet have left.
These ponies are of different ages and abilities. The mature grey pony is much more experienced, whereas this young black pony is still learning how to carry his head and neck.
The young one is still having to learn to carry itself and a rider, which makes the pony unbalanced. He's well behind the vertical there. See, the grey end, you wouldn't think it was going anywhere, but it's much faster. You know, like if you're going to rob a bank, that's the one you'd want to be on. Others couldn't catch him, could they? And it looks like he's going nowhere. It's just so easy to him. This pony is a year older than the other pony we had, so it's carrying the rider much easier, using itself more from behind, in a better outline because of its age, covering more ground, easier going because it finds it easier to trot. The position of its head could, for me, just be a little bit higher. It's rather going a little bit downhill at the moment. I'd like its head a little bit higher up. Yeah, another year and it will be.
The canter must roll on and cover the ground in a comfortable and workmanlike fashion. It should look and feel uphill and not on the forehand. So, as with the trot, the pony's profile should not be behind the vertical. The rider must be careful to school forward and not pull the pony's head in too much. Conformation refers to the shape and structure of a horse, or how it's put together. This will have an impact on the pony's action and the way it moves. When we talk about conformation, we're looking at the pony's head, neck, shoulders, body or carcass, legs and feet, which are worth a total of 70 points. The top line of pole to end of withers is equal to or longer than the line from end of withers to end of croup. This mare is showing signs of being in foal. The legs are worth a total of 25 points. You will often hear breeders and judges talking about ponies with bone, more specifically flat bone. Flat bone means the front of the knee particularly is flat when seen from the side, although the joint is broad when seen from the front, making the leg appear wider front to back, which helps balancing concussion through the forelimb. A good cannon bone should be narrow when seen from the front and wide from the side, with the tendons clean and not fleshy or puffy. The same applies to the hock.
Here we have a pony with a straight hind leg. There isn't a sharp enough angle here, which makes the leg at the front very, very straight. Down the front here. It does stand fairly correctly at the back. The points of there and the fetlock are fairly straight. But being too shallow here makes the hind leg incorrect.
This stallion is in his working clothes and not carrying a lot of condition because it's breeding season.
He's got a good tail and he's nicely laid in at the back. Hocks is important on a stallion because if they're covering loads and loads of mares, they get a lot of strain on the hocks, especially when they're young. So if they've got good strong hocks, they'll last the test of time. And obviously this chap's got reasonably good hocks, or else he wouldn't be in as good order as he is today, because he is 17. Bert always used to tell me when I was young, he always liked them from there to there, wants to be the same width all the way down, and this bit wants to be as short from there to there as possible, in and out. Okay, we're just going to talk about this pony's limbs. This pony's got a nice forearm, it's got a lovely flat bone there. You want this bit as narrow as possible and this bit as wide as possible. Nice bit of shape to him coming down like that, and just a little bit of prominence of the skin which makes the knees nice and flat. Nice short cannon bone into the fetlock joint and a lovely shaped pastern joint. The pastern joint's very important because that's the shock absorber or the spring for the horse when you're riding it, gives you a comfortable ride and makes it a nice smooth trot. Nice silky straight hair, lovely hair. We'll just pick its foot up. It's got a nice round open foot, good heel, nice broad heel right across, and a nice good shape of foot, and a deep foot. You want a deep foot from there to there, and the horn wants to be a blue hard colour. No difference with this pony that it's got a little bit of white on a back foot. That shouldn't stop it doing any good in the show ring whatsoever.
This pony has a very good round foot, and there should be room for you to put 4 fingers between the heels. Bone is measured below the knee where the foreleg is narrowest. This is the weakest part of any horse, so we want it to be strong here, at least 8 inches in circumference and preferably 8.5 or 9 inches. In both fore and hind legs, we are looking for an oval cross section below the knee. Not round like a broom handle that would snap under pressure, but oval like an axe handle, designed to absorb shock. The angle of shoulder is the same as the angle of pastern. A straight shoulder, 55 degrees from horizontal, tends to go with an upright pastern and jarring paces. A 45-degree shoulder and pastern will usually give smooth paces.
Okay, now this is an older mare. She's 27 years old. So I thought we'd bring her in just to show you that there's no wear and tear on her limbs whatsoever. So it's important to have good limbs, nice laid down hocks. The best thing about this pony is its hocks. They're nicely laid down, nicely laid in, which we can see here. You just want to be able to get your hand in there. They don't want to be touching. They just want to be nicely apart, just like that. Good round here. Nice joint down at the bottom, nice short cannon bone. She's got rather a large head, got a bit of a droopy bottom lip, got a bit bigger ears, and she has got a bit of a straight shoulder. You want a real good sloping shoulder. Straight shoulder stops them having nice round action. It's important, really important, to have a good laid shoulder, because then if you want to ride it, there's somewhere to put your saddle and it stops your saddle sliding forwards. You want a nice little bit of withers. She's got not too bad here. This is maybe not one of the best mares, but she's produced some of the best foals. It all depends how the mare and the stallion works, and obviously the stallion that she's been going to has worked very well.
We are looking for a good strong back with good top line, muscular loins and a deep carcass. The pony should be thick through the heart, round ribbed from shoulders to flank, short and well coupled. The hindquarters should be square and strong, with the tail well set on. When you hear people say deep, we mean being half the height of the pony. Stallions in working clothes during the breeding season may run up very light in the belly, whilst broodmares will appear deeper. The girth total circumference is frequently around 72 inches, 6 feet or more. It is important to be aware of the pony's condition over its carcass, not to be carrying excess fat. Their weight is designed to fluctuate between the summer and winter, where naturally the ponies would gain weight during the spring and summer months and lose their excess weight during the winter months. It is often said that a fell pony should lose all its fat once a year. The head profile is straight with open nostrils. The jaw is deep with good level teeth that meet correctly both at the cheeks and at the muzzle. We are looking for open nostrils, width between the eyes, a broad poll and small ears. The throat and neck should not be fleshy or coarse. There should be an open space between the jawbones to enable the pony to breathe when working, even when flexing to the bit.
They want a good rein length from the ears to there, and from there to there. That bit at the top wants to be twice as long as the bottom bit. If I shift this to a side, you can see he's got a fantastic head, nice little short ears, good jawline. I like that. You don't see that very often now. This is a very nice 3-year-old pony. If you had to fault him, he just has a little bit of a bump on his neck there, but it's not. Well, that's no detriment to work for him, but conformation wise, it's just a little bit not quite right. Ideally, it would want that straight down there, yeah. Nice here, just that bit.
There should be plenty of fine hair at the heels, although coarse hair is objectionable. All the fine hair, except that at the point of heel, may be cast in the summer. The mane and tail are left to grow long. This young gelding has cast his feather, but it will grow back.
Well, what I can see about this stallion here is he's got really good feather. He's got terrific feather and loads of it right over his feet. He's got a fantastic mane and good tail.
In the winter, the coat is double thickness, with long guard hairs in the outer coat and shorter ones underneath that insulate. Some ponies will have a definite moustache all year round and a beard which tends to shed in the spring. Fells also have ear tufts as well as whiskers around the eyes and muzzle, which should not be trimmed as they are all necessary for wild living. So far we have been explaining the 100 points that may be given for conformation. However, another 100 points are given for the pony's type, which you may be starting to recognise by now. The fell pony should be constitutionally as hard as iron. They need to move athletically over rough ground, and that's why conformation is so important. To live on the hill in all weather, they need the protective hair they carry at head, neck, tail and feet. Their small ears with protective hair help prevent heat loss in winter. We look for well-shaped, hard, round, dark-coloured hooves and at least 8 inches of bone below the knee. The pony needs to have good strong muscles to move energetically up and down hills. At all paces, we want activity but also efficiency, not wasting energy going up and down rather than forward. Fell ponies should show good pony characteristics. They should be lively and alert with the unmistakable appearance of hardiness peculiar to mountain ponies.
Good lad. He said I've had enough already. boy.
A newborn foal may appear narrow in the carcass, but this is normal to allow it to be born quickly. The ears may look too big and there may be a bump between the eyes so that the head profile is not straight. The pasterns may appear too sloped and the toes, instead of pointing straight forward, may point outwards at 5:1 on a clock face. By 3 days old, the legs will be getting stronger and the chest and shoulders beginning to widen, so what looked like a fault at first will have improved. The slope of the shoulder and croup, the definition of hocks and knees should all be correct, and the foal should be able to walk, trot and canter with a nice free action. By 3 weeks, the leg alignment should be correct and the body conformation will give a good idea of what the adult pony will look like. There is an old saying that if you like a foal at 3 days, you will like it at 3 months and 3 years. The choices that judges make in the show ring can influence new owners and potential buyers. What owners achieve in public with their ponies at shows and events can influence what other buyers want to buy and what breeders keep to breed from and what they sell. Whether we own, show, judge or breed foal ponies, we must make sure that the choices we make now will be worthy of the last 100 years and form a good foundation for the next century and beyond.